Hello, my name is Noah Victor Tukwa, and in this present findings, I am here with all of my 8 data set questions. So as you can see, these are the communities, and my 2 data set came from the course material, all right? And it's really great working with material that is from the course, all right? So as you can see, this is my FC, the community identity, and then we have something we makes this four another four, which is equal to 8 questions. And these are the stakeholders description. All right, we have the head coach Carla Aslanti, Fatima Kamara, director Emmanuel John, and so on. So as you can see, the same as well for the Samsung data set. All right, and I would like to walk you through the Fire Explorer to show all of my data sets. All right, and the project that I created. So I'll walk you through this. So we'll come to Core 2, and then this is our EC RT 143 5.2, all right? Remember that we're working on the 5.2 project. And then we've come to my FC database project folder. So we'll click this. So as you can see, this has already been ran, and you can see that 0 has been displayed here. So basically there are two communities, all right? We have my FC and that of the Samsung database, and they are both from the course material. So the order of this is from Fatima Kamara, all right? So for instance, asking a question, how many midfielders played for more than one team during the 2023 season, all right, from my FC database. And then this is the display output. So multi team midfielder, it showed 0, which means none, all right. And I'll let us to move to our second questions for my FC database. All now, as you can see, this is the presentation parts. We are working with the first question, and for instance, what did I build? So basically I built an SQL analytical framework, and for two distinct communities, all right, like I just said, my FC and the Samsung database. So my FC, it has to do with the focus on players, importance, their performance, the team, affiliations, and that of the salary tables. And for my Samsung database or Samsung data set, it focuses on employment, it focuses on spending, and that of the related visa activities. All right. So as you can see, this is the presentation for the first questions. And so you can see this is the author Fatima Kamara in the display output. And what did I build? All right. So basically, I built an SQL based analysis or analytical framework that has to do with two distinct communities. Like I said earlier, mine FC football club data set and also Samsung data set. All right. So my FC is focused on the player performance, the team affiliations, and the salary. And also the data set from the Samsung, it has to do with the employment, departmental spending, and that of the visa activity. So what did I build, or why did you build it? All right. So now asking myself, so I did this to empower the decision making and stakeholders in each community with data-driven insights. All right. So for instance, my FC, we have the coaches and then out of the analysts, the manager, and they understand with the player movement and all of the activities in the data. So we move down and ask, you say, how did you build it? So we use basically, or I use the data set, or and then I input it into the SQL server or the SQL Server management, all right? And then I apply the answer focus approach, which I did in 5.2. So today I will be walking you through everything, and this is the PowerPoint presentation part. So let us move to the next part and then be able to understand our next questions in the SQL Server. So we are on the second questions from my FC, and this is the author of the key stakeholders, all right, Emmanuel John, all right, asking the questions about which team had the highest average, the player salary in the question 2 of 2024. So we use the select, then we use the average to select from the salary, and we use the aliases here, the average salary from the GBO table or TBL player fast table, all right, and this gives out the display I don't know why I say that this is not ready displaying, but I think that's the SQL statement. And I'll let for us to go through the PowerPoint presentation part. Now, this is the slide title, question 3, and we can see that this is the display. And as we come down here, we still see that this is the image given. And this is the SQL logic summary. So we use the TBL player files for the salary data, and then the TBL team for the team, info or the informations. And then we filter the record, where as of the date in the question 2 of 2024 to get this answer. And I'd like to move to the next question. This one also from Grace Mensah, and say what is the total number of players who play on a weekend? And the display is zero player or none of the player play on a weekend. So, and then we use the select, then the count distinct to from the weekend players, and then from the DBO the player fast, and then we join both of the table, the DBO dim, and then on cast. And then we also use the where function, where the date party, the year, and then as of the date equal 2023. And then as you can see, we display, and that was the iPod that was given. And then we included Saturday and Sunday as well. So as you can see, it gives zero, which means none of the player play on the weekend. So we like to move to the presentation. And this is our summary for the number 3 questions. All right. So we use the TBL player files table for the player activities. All right. And I have the date dim for calendar contest. And then we filter the record, whereas the date it falls in 2023. And then this gives us this iPool of zero, which means none of the players uh, were actually playing on the weekend, as by Grace Mensah. So I'd like for us to move again to our next question. And this is our last question for my FC. And then from Erica, all right, the she's from class, all right. So we use the case statement here, as you can see, and to answer this question, which player position have the highest average salary in the weekend compared to the weekdays, all right? And how does this vary by the team? Where we use all of the case statement, and this gives us this display. So we'll move to our presentation. We also have the display here, where the SQL summary logic, it talks about using the TBL player fast table for the salary data, and that of the date dim for the day classifications. We also use the DBL position name for the position names and apply the case statement, which of course, as you can see, they are all written in here. And I'll let for us to move to our number 2 data set. So we are on my Samsung data set, and then this question was from Jessie Under. She's my classmate, and then she asked which Samsung family members work at Planet Express and how does their delivery uh, performance compared to gender and age. And this was all of the display after we ran the the SQL queries, and then this give out the full display. You have the full name, the job title, the status, and the hire date, and so the amount in a category. So as you can see here, these are the display output. And I left for us to go through the PowerPoint presentations where we use the family data rather for member info or the information. And then we have the FBS, the visa customer from the visa records, which display all of our given apples from the table. All right. So as you can see, this is the graphical part, and this is the visa record from the department. And the display also, we like to move to the next. This is our question 2 for Samsung database, and we use the family data for employment details to reference it, and then this gave us an output of qualified members, which is zero. All right, it shows that none of the members are qualified for the selected questions. So we'll move to our PowerPoint, and then we use the family data as well, as you can see, and the Planet Expert for delivery transaction that we use in this SQL query. And then we join the memo name to match employment and performance. the record select, the name, the job, and everything. So that was how we get the display output of this question. And I'd like for us to move to question 3. This is our next question, and as you can see, it has been successfully executed. And in here, we use the family data for the department info or the department information. So as you can see, the department is being displayed with the Samsung family and then showing the total visa spending. All right. So we will go through the PowerPoint and see the presentation of this. So we use the family data set. All right, or the family data table for the department info, like I just said, and then the FBS visa, which of course, as you can see, I will zoom this. All right, we use this for the visa transaction. All right, and then aggregate sum the debit agreed by the department, which gave us the department output here in the total visa spending. So we move to the next question, and this is our last question from the PlannerNet Flanders. And we use the select count and the distinct functions, and then from the DBO family data, which uses the employee department displaying as all of the employee visa holders. All right. So I'd like for us to go through the PowerPoint presentation part of this, and then where we see we use the family data that shows the employment info, and as you can see, this is it. All right, and the display output is below. Allow for us to go through and look at it. And then we use the FBS visa customer for visa records, all right? But just display out the employee visa holders. So basically that's it for my present findings. And I hope you found this video helpful for my little demonstration in this project. Thank you so much.